Yeah, so we're back here in sunny Dingle. It's a bit rainy tonight. We want to thank Mr. Cavaney for being our host once again in his lovely house. And we've got the usual guests. We've got Colin Lloyd.
Good evening.
Chris Tully.
Alright.
And Tony Cavaney.
Now then.
We're moving straight on. It's been another big week, as usual, with Liverpool Football Club. The news never ends. We went away to West Brom. We said on the show, didn't we, lads, that beating Everton was great, 4-0, but then we really had to go to West Brom and win, and it didn't happen. Chris, what happened? What went wrong?
I don't know, it's just after the derby, really, after being all made up, after beating them 4-0, and it should have been 5-0, keep on going on about it, but I think going into the West Brom game, I thought it might have been a bit tricky, to be honest, but you expect to beat them there, new manager, whatever, but on the back of that derby, when you thought he could have been up for it, but he looked a bit tired, a bit leggy, and if that's the case, fair enough, it's because they put it all into that derby. So coming out of it 2 games with 4 points, I suppose I'd take that. Maybe draw at Anfield against Everton and 3 points against West Brom. So you can go on that basis, but should have won. They were never going to score until Torre done that pass. They were never going to score. So it's just frustrating in that aspect that if he didn't make that mistake, it was 1-0, 3 points, and we had the rest of them chasing us then, and going into the Arsenal game, it's going to be tough. But in the end of the day, I accept a home win and an away draw at the moment, and working on that 2 point basis again. What I'm saying, we're just a point behind, as you said now, but it's in our sights, and I don't know, it comes near the end of the season. Well, it's not at the end, but it's every game's vital now, every game. So I'd accept it, but a little bit disappointed with the back passing. That's all.
So similar, but I put it down as 2 points lost myself. Wasn't happy with. You can't switch on and off. The way we started wasn't the best because they were crap. We sort of went into that mould ourselves and played at a level that was like just above theirs, and it was this mentality of we're going to win anyway type thing. I was guarding off them, but after all the hard work, he said, and they did look tired, but we should have punished them. There was chances that we never capitalised on to punish them. We should have been a few ahead. We went into half time, and I spoke about it on the last Friday, the similarities between our game and Everton's game. Do you know what I mean? They were like crap first half, Everton were like on a pump, and then they come back, and it was exactly the same as us. But like I said, until Torre done that back pass, we've given them the jiggy to get back into it, and they can be a deceptive team, and then like the crowd are up for it, and then but we still never like took it to the next level, even when they tested us. You know what I mean? It was still like that mundane performance. Just that mundane performance that we went through, and what it's done is it's took the shine off, like if that's the word, it took the shine off the derby win, because it would have been brilliant, and plus everyone around us lost points at the weekend, and there would have been a clear gap between the top 4 and then the 5th. Do you know what I mean? And now it's made our next 2 games imperative that we beat Arsenal. There's so much onus on us now to win Arsenal.
Massive game.
Do you know what I mean? And then the Fulham game midweek. So if we can beat them, get two wins there, like I'm quite confident about it. But if we get 2 wins there, you're going to Arsenal then in a totally different frame of mind for the cup. You know what I mean? Like it wins confidence in it. But it's really upset at the end of the game about it. West Brom myself at all. Like we deserved. Well, we did deserve it. You got to take a point of what you see. We're happy to walk away with a point, but we missed a great opportunity. It was just an opportunity lost.
Colin?
Yeah, I agree what the lads say. It was a bit of a case of after the Lord Mayor's show, weren't it? Big game against Everton, great results, great performance, and then go to West Brom on the lunchtime and they perform for 15 minutes, and the rest of the game we didn't play. As Tony and Catola just said there, one individual error off Torre, and it's just blown it all apart. It was actually Brendan's 100th manager as well, 100th game, sorry, as manager of Liverpool on Sunday. So they let them down there, didn't they, really? But yeah, nothing really more to say than what the lads have just said. We should have beat West Brom, especially going 1-0 up. They took the foot off the gas, they got casual, lethargic, and they got their ass kicked in the second half, basically. They, 1-1 was a result. We were glad to get 1-1 in the end, I think. Just get out of there, get the point and get out of there.
I agree with what Tony said, in the sense that I don't think we took our foot off the gas. I don't think the foot was ever on the gas. We started slow. We got that goal, fair enough, and just never got out of first gear in the whole game. Thought the pitch looked very hard and bouncy. Our lads seemed to be struggling to control the ball, but on the whole, it was just a really disappointing performance.
Apart from Sterling, I thought Sterling had a good game.
And he took turns fouling him, didn't he? Every time he got the ball, it looked like he was going. They were in rotate. I think 4 of them got booked for fouling Sterling.
But he's taking the knocks, isn't he now? Yeah. He seems he's tough, but and then I think Rodgers is looking at the bench and looking at them thinking, what the fuck? There's no one to bring on. So, in that sense, you got no one to bring on off the bench to change the game when they are like chasing it, and then so. That goes back to the transfer window then, doesn't it? Where you haven't brought no one in, and after the derby everyone's made up, and then it was just the lack of fucking activity in the transfer. So that's where people's heads have gone a bit down, not beating West Brom and not getting no signings in.
We don't seem to have the plan B, do we? We're alright if we go at airs and then we're on a pump, and then you're alright bring them on then when it's 2 and 3-0. You can throw them in the fray then. But when it's not going our way, and you can see Brendan's like, what do we do here?
There's no plan B on the bench, is there?
There's nothing to go with, and you've just got to persevere with what he started with. And like I said, it should be a broad shot across the board, shouldn't it, for the other say, look, I've got nothing here, you're going to help me out or what? But even with what we had there Sunday, I was convinced, we spoke about the hard work, if you don't apply hard work from the first whistle to earn the right to play, then. But this like farting about and like there was flicks and I was thinking you could just sense it, you know what I mean? We're in one of them moods here where
well it came from what Brendan, he must drum into the Monday to Friday at Melwood once Mignolet gets the ball. I mean, you can take the individual error, if you want to be super critical, you can blame Mignolet for the goal, do you know what I mean? When we have noticed it at home games, when Mignolet gets the ball in his hands, the 2 centre halves at the corner of the 18-yard box, the 2 centres in midfielders drop deep, and the 2 full-backs are out on the halfway line. It's just bizarre, because 9 times out of 10 they end up pissing about with it on the edge of the area. The Mignolet launches it 75 yards down the pitch to somebody anyway. So, being super critical, Mignolet shouldn't have been given that ball to Torre. Torre shouldn't have tried the square ball. I mean, that ball, if an 8-year-old had done that on the Sunday Parks, that square ball across the defence, so high up the pitch, I mean, it was a catastrophe waiting to happen, weren't it?
You're out in your mouth with it all the time.
You taught it as a kid.
Of course, so, yeah. Simple, basic football, innit?
One thing I noticed from watching it was they wanted Torre. Out of all of our defenders, they wanted Torre to have the ball.
Isolated.
They moved away, they blocked off Skirtle and they blocked off the 2 centre midfielders, so the ball would go to Torre. And 3 or 4 times before that, he got the ball, ran up a blind alley with it, then they all crowded him, then he turned around. A couple of times he'd already lost it. So it was probably good tactics by them. Their clock doesn't say, let him have the ball if someone's got to have it.
But like the manager, they were saying this, Pepe Mel. Like he's saying, he changed it. He never changed it. Not in the second half. They were pushed on us in the first half. Jacob was fouling every country move. Yeah. So they were pushing up on us first half, but like they weren't getting much joy out of it. It's just that we gave them that jiggy to get the crowd to get that joy. Then, do you know what I mean? And then the backs were up, and at the end of the day, we could have been walking away with no points to carry on out of us.
Yeah. I mean, West Brom have got that title, haven't they? Boing, boing, they're up and down the divisions every year. But when they do stay in the league, and I think they will this season, just because the worst teams stand up, they stay up because of their own form. Everyone who goes there gets a game off them. Do you know what I mean?
It's one of them grounds where you don't know what to expect.
Exactly. The goods are home. They're a nice little side.
A couple of weeks before they drew at Everton as well at home, and Everton are a couple of points behind us. So same level. So, our lads, as everyone has said, seems to went into it with a bit of not a bad attitude, but like we're just going to come here
casual,
and it wasn't going to happen, was it? Anyway, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, and we have a good result, then we're all on a high, then we get Villa, we're all on a lower, then we get Everton, we're all on a high.
It's Fortress Anfield, Paul. That's what we're banging the drum about now, Fortress Anfield. We've got Arsenal on Saturday lunchtime, and then Fulham away, and then Arsenal at home in the cup. Arsenal away, sorry, in the cup the following week. But yeah, let's just drum home Fortress Anfield, because taking away Southampton and the Villa game, which were 2 draws, well one draw and a defeat, sorry, which were a draw and a defeat. Apart from that, the form is absolutely rock solid.
Let's not give it the kiss of death.
We're not going to give it the kiss of death, no, but this is where we can take the confidence from.
Yeah.
You know, you go to West Brom, you're struggling to get the win, you're happy with a point in the end, the way the game pans out. But Arsenal hold no fears for me Saturday afternoon. They really don't. The crowds, 45,000 sellouts. Everyone knows the importance that the game carries. I think we're going to see Suarez and Sturridge back on top form again. The only slight problems which has come out in the news today is that Agger and Sakho are definitely out. So we need to sort this back 2 out. I mean, it looks like it's going to be Colo by default. There's nobody else going to be there to play.
He's worrying me.
So
about him actually for this.
back to the Fortress Anfield, and let's just outgun them, shoot them down.
Like we did against Everton, come out early, like we've done against most of the teams, we've come out early and just got right into them. That's what we need to be doing.
I'm more worried about Fulham away in the midweek than Arsenal at home. You know what I mean? It stinks of the derby again, doesn't it?
Money's loads a lot of teams away.
I mean, it's all about Fulham. I think Fulham away, I think they're through the top four.
We'll probably slam Arsenal tomorrow.
Well, that'll be down to
we'll go into that game full of beans again and end up with fucking nothing.
That's different, yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? We've had it all season, haven't we, this way? Win one, lose, win one, draw one, win one, draw one.
Like bipolar the team, innit?
So, like, we've got all the good, we've got all like the top teams at home, which you're confident of taking. Like he said, the crowd and all that. But we've got all shit teams away now. It should be downhill all the way till the end of the season, but you know it's not going to be.
Everyone was talking about fourth, but there's higher places for us to get on. The only problem that's going to stop us is the lack of talent and depth in that squad. First 11 and 12 is fine. Once we start losing the main hitters, we'll struggle. But on face value, our running compared to everybody else's, just on games alone, we should be aiming for second or third.
Yeah, well, look, that's why them 2 points there last Sunday, West Brom. We were in the mix again there with what happened on the Monday night. We were back in that mix. We were like a point behind them, 2 points behind them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but so as Roger said, you don't jump from 7th to 1st or 2nd in that short space of time, especially with the squads we've got. You know, you've got to be over the moon with 4th, haven't you?
Flash in the pan, but
we've been there all season. I'd hate to drop out that top 4 coming to the end of the season now, and it would only be the owners to blame for not bringing someone in this window just to strengthen it. But
we were 3 points behind Chelsea.
Yeah, and Chelsea are far stronger. And Chelsea are far stronger.
I'm not bothered about Chelsea or battles. We should be looking ahead, don't we? Why look behind? If we the one up there on Sunday, we're 2 points behind them. Why not look at them?
Tony, you know, but they are stronger than us. They've got a better squad than us, so they're more equipped to go and challenge for that top.
Only 3 points.
I don't think we've got the squad to challenge for the top 2 or 3, you know.
But we are, though, aren't we?
We are, but
we're proving it.
But we're dropping points against West Brom, so I don't think Chelsea would have dropped points against West Brom.
Chelsea were lucky to win in the last minute, then, weren't they?
Well, Chelsea dropped points against West Ham, didn't he?
True, yeah.
Just the week before, but I understand what you're saying, Chris, and talking about home games and Fortress Anfield and its sound, but going away to these so-called lesser teams, some of whom are struggling for relegation, they're not easy games. They look at on paper, but they're not.
Look at United against Stoke.
Yeah.
It's going to be like that at the end of the season anyway.
It's going to be a bit.
Liverpool could be bottom of the league, and wherever we go, we're treated like a cup final anyway, because of the history and the following that we take. It's a sell-out all the away games, but we should be going to Fulham next week and just fucking hide.
Yeah, I don't want to sound negative, like, because we're still in soft form. No, it's always, and I'm never like that, but no, it just sounds a bit like that. To you last week, no, but I'm not. But no, if you get, I'm sounding negative here. I'm going for the draw against Arsenal, but I'll say that at the end.
Yeah, look, can I apologise as well?
I think I know where this is going now. This is a sick Vic, is
It's
it?
nothing to do with Brendan putting them out. Apparently it was nothing to do with Brendan putting them out in a mindset to play shite.
Jockey
It's
pulled
nothing to do with Colo Torre. The reason we drew last week is on that last week's noise from the boys. I said NFTB couldn't finish his tea.
But it was
So
put on a plate
jinx.
for him.
Yeah.
Put on a plate.
Yeah. He didn't ask for seconds, like, did he? So I
All he had
apologise.
to do was bang it home, didn't he? Well, also during the game, I texted everyone and said, "Fucking hell, Suarez not looking thing," and literally 10 seconds later, he crosses and still scores. So football's a funny old game, Tony, and it's a funny out game.
Funny out game.
Well, is there anything else to say about the Arsenal game? It's a big game, obviously. At the moment, we're 8 points behind.
8 points off the top.
8 points behind them. You know, all these teams are playing each other. We've got to play all these teams as well. I think we are actually still in the title thing. I sort of agree with you, Chris. I don't think we can do it. Realistically, we won't win the league, but we can. We can
have a big say on it, can't we?
We can push on.
It was interesting to read this morning's papers. Kieran Gibbs was given. I mean, God knows why they interviewed Kieran Gibbs, but he was given some war cry out this morning. We're coming to show our true colours. We're going to stamp our authority on the league at Anfield on Saturday. I mean, I don't know where all that's right.
He might be shitting himself.
Well, yeah. Well, so the basic. You know, there's an old way of doing that. You pull that out now, don't you? You stick it on our dressing room wall Saturday morning, and you know, there's an old saying. There's your team talk. So I mean, if Kieran Gibbs has come on up for a battle, he'll get one Saturday.
He was talking about like the game earlier on in the season, and there he said we haven't played any of the top teams, and we played Liverpool, and it's the same thing again, and we put them to bed and all this, and he said, and we're getting the same feeling.
It's like they keep having to prove themselves.
We're going to go up there and prove ourselves, but then he's talking ahead of himself actually about us. Do you know what I mean? He's going, because then we've got Bayern Munich after, you know, when all this carry on.
Well, there's an advert. Have you seen the advert doing the rounds on Sky? It's one of these old actors, and it's Arsenal. Looks like Arsenal have actually paid for the advert, and the fella's going on. You know, we've got Liverpool, then we've got Bayern, then we've got Man United, then we've got Bayern. As if there's some sort of like celebrity football. It says it's the fucking Harlem Globetrotters. Yeah. And he's just looking at it and thinking, for fuck's sake.
And is it to sell tickets or is it?
No, it's just a highlight. It's just a highlight. Yeah, just a highlight of Arsenal FC, I suppose.
Well, it looks after itself, Arsenal, them games at Anfield. You know what I mean?
I think they're all on Sky. That's what it is. That's how it's all tied in. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like Torre worries me at the back against these. You know what I mean? Like, I was impressed with that Giroud in the first game at their grounds earlier on in the season on his own. Didn't think he could play like that. Yeah. And he fucking bullied the fuck out of us, you know what I mean? But
he's out though. Giroud, yeah.
But Rodgers made a mistake in that game at Highbury. He went like sort of and went for the
jugular.
So he won't make that mistake again. I think Alan will be in for this game.
Can you see the same similar tactics as the derby?
Yeah, exactly.
Let them dominate the play, and then when we get the ball on the edge of our own area, we fucking hate them.
But Arsenal's different team.
I don't think they are, you know, because Everton destroyed them at the Emirates. Everton plays exactly the same football at the Emirates than they did at Anfield.
But they didn't have escape from Alcatraz there, or the other fella was
the thing with Everton is they want a shot. Whereas if we give Arsenal all the ball at Anfield and sit back in our defence, Arsenal will just keep it and won't have a shot. They will keep us and keep us chasing around. Whereas Everton won it in a derby. They wanted the ball, but they did want to actually go and try and score. Arsenal won't be asked. They'll keep that ball and we'll be chasing our tails. I don't think they'll do that. But you know, who knows?
I think
we'll take it to them myself.
Yeah.
No, you got to win home, haven't you?
It's a test for us.
Mertesacker and Koscielny, they're no great shakes. I don't mean they're getting all applauders, but they're no great centre half pair and them two.
Well, where he's saying Wenger, you know, this is our test again. You know what he's saying, and we got called out in the first game at the Emirates and we proved it, and now we're doing the same again. Are we in it for the long run? I think we're good. It'll be a test. I think Brendan will be saying to us, look, are you really into this top 4 spec? Well, if you are, go and prove it. At the top 4 so far, we played 3 and we haven't won. So we've got to change that.
When was the last time we beat Arsenal at Anfield?
Recently, wasn't it?
It wasn't the battle was last season.
Well, the year before that was the Van Persie game.
The game I remember was Diaby ran the show.
That was last season.
Yeah, that was Diaby. The year before was the Van Persie last minute winner.
He battled him,
So I think it was the year before that.
So, I mean,
So would you one?
the G1 possibly against them. But Everton the G1 against us, it doesn't mean they get it, does it?
No, but that's just written in law, isn't it? That
They don't get one.
The other factor for the weekend is 5th place Everton playing 6th place Tottenham.
Well, this happened last year, if I remember correctly. The same
North
weekend,
London,
it was North London v Merseyside. I think it was the other way round, or we were at Tottenham and Arsenal were up here.
That's nothing funny about that because it's done by a computer from the.
Oh, I know, it's not an odd about it, yeah, whatever, yeah.
But a win, and what we just said before about the West Brom game, if we were to win, not only do we get closer to the top, but someone's dropping points like behind
gap
us, you know what I
opens.
mean? Man United have only got 4
Could be a
games,
big
so
3
they're
points,
gonna
like,
piss
couldn't
that.
it?
Could be a massive 3
massive
points.
3 points.
Massive 3 points. Alright, moving off to football, then we've had lots of headlines in the last couple of days from the pre-inquest that's going on down in London for the new inquest, which are going to take place in Warrington shortly. And some really sickening things that are coming out of that. Who wants to talk about that?
Yeah, look, we mentioned these 3 rats. That there's levels that I don't know how low these can stoop any lower. These fellas, do you know what I mean? When you think they is, well, rats start climbing over each other when they're backed into a corner, don't they, and biting each other and throwing each other in. But these 3, this Stuckenfield Greenwood and this Roger Marshall, have instructed the barrister to make the suggestion in their defence in this court, this preliminary court thing, that alcohol's a major factor in the tragedy, which is all that, which is a load of fucking codswallop as it's been proved. Lord Justice Taylor proved it. It was a myth in his report, and it was discredited in the findings, wasn't it, in 2012. But what they're trying to do is that these blood levels, alcohol levels that we're taking, this was in the Royal Elmshire. This is something that like fucking close to my heart in a way, this, because out of the 3 hospitals, the Royal Elmshire was the one where the police were doing tests on 10-year-old kids. I was as young as 10-year-old kids. And my mate John, we lost my mate John. He was, not lost him as in passed away. He was caught up in the crush and put in an ambulance. So he passed out. So we were in a boys' club, and all through the day and all through the night, they're coming in with names and blah blah, and people are getting off and people are finding things. We're going to the gymnasium. So we had a social worker, and she said, "I've got him. He's woke up," and give his name. He's in one of the hospitals. We don't know. A paramedic said his name. So all I remember is, to me, eternal shame. I don't even know this woman's name. Who helped us through the day. The social worker, she was amazing. We followed her. I knew she had a mini, and it was in the Royal Elmshire. So when I've run in and seen John, I was upset about him. I tried to shake him, and I remember he had all drips hanging out of his arm, and that's all I remember. He had 4 or 5 drips in each arm, and I was thinking, what's all? And one of them come out, and the doctor went, "Excuse me," you know what I mean? And I thought, I've told him some harm here. So when we were in the cathedral and he mentioned this about the Royal Elmshire, I'm thinking now,
on the 12th.
On the 12th, yeah. When he mentioned it was the Royal Elmshire Hospital and that we found our mates in with these alcohol levels, I'm thinking, which I had on my brain for 24 years, that I've done something wrong, you know what I mean? I pulled these drips out. They were probably checking for blood levels. And John, his dad was an alcoholic. He went through police family records then to check if family relatives had been nicked with alcohol related thing. So I pulled drips out, and it's like, this is what these are trying to get at, you know what I mean? Going back to the same old, how low can you get? Yeah, it's just proved. If this judge doesn't take on board a previous judge's findings, he's discrediting that judge then.
Well, it's not just another judge, it's only
it's not just, he's discrediting his findings, that's set in stone. So he's not going to, these are just clutching. You shouldn't even get the right to bring that out in the papers and upset people any more than they have, do you know what I mean? Shouldn't be given the column time and all. Just
as you say, from 2 years ago, from 2012, from the 12th to the 12th, weren't it?
12th and 9th.
12th and 9th. From then on, it's just, we were all over the moon, and then we thought, this is it, and then, so now what, 2 years later, it's gone back to where, it's like starting all over again.
That's the justice system, the roles it takes, it's ridiculous.
It's dragged it back down to the gutter again with these.
They're deliberately dragging it out so they don't. I think it's coming from higher again, this.
I think
it's coming from higher again, that no one's going to.
They want people, not that this sounds terrible, but they want it to go on and on and on, so that there's less people alive. People are dying off, do you know what I mean? But they've already been told that family members will carry this fight on. Daughters and granddaughters and grandsons. The fight's not going away. It isn't going to go away.
When we spoke to Sheila on the show, and she said it's going to take time, and it's going to take, she's got to bear with it, and so I suppose you've got to, and then like it's not as easy as it's,
On the 12th and the 9th, Chris, we had a live show there from one of the pubs. I think you were all there. We had Graham Smith, Tabak, and then the Ship and Mitre. And we had Graham Smith, who's a solicitor on that day, and he said the new inquest, you're talking 3 years, so it's 2 years, and he thought 3. It's just, as Colin said, it's the wheels of justice turning so slowly. Just to say, so the Judge Goldrain was, they put an application in yesterday saying, don't take them to the police control room, it's all changed, there's no point. And Goldrain today has just thrown that out and said, we're going to the police control room, we're going to Hillsborough
to see what he's seen. Do you need to see the angles and what they were seeing?
It doesn't feel like the barrister actually tried to stop that and say, no, there's no point because it's all different now. So Goldrain, who's a Liverpool judge by the way, he's come up on the Liverpool circuit, and this is only the pre-inquest. The main inquest are going to be in Warrington. He's going to knock this, and I'm not trying to think, but he is going to knock this out the park. Alcohol levels.
It's gone.
As you say, Lord Justice Taylor 23 years ago said that's a load of bollocks. How long can you get?
And then on the other side of it, there's that Busy there just gone to jail over this plebgate thing.
12 months. Instantly.
What's all that about? So are these cunts Druggenfield and that, are these going to get the same treatment as him for something as petty as what's gone on there?
Druggenfield's retired now, and this is not a criminal trial. This is an inquest. No one's on
trial at the moment.
They're just trying to find a finding of.
It's just like coppers don't have to turn up,
isn't it? Well, I've actually got at the Operation Resolve, the busies from Operation Resolve are coming to take my interview on Tuesday and so I don't know.
Have you ever done an interview over there?
No,
I spoke about it to you last week off here, and I was saying, although we were at the match, I sat in the seat behind the Leppens lane, and I don't ever consider myself a survivor. People who were in that pen, they're the people who got out of there were the survivors. But the things I've seen there, do you know what I mean? I've never ever spoke to anyone about it.
Let me just come back at that, because when they made that appeal, the IPCC came out and made an appeal for anyone who was at the game, come forward and just talk to us, and we'll pick the bones out of it in a positive way. And I did that. I spoke to the IPCC, told them basically what you just said. It was in the stands. I was in the crush outside the turnstile. I don't know whether it's any else yet. And she said, to be honest, it's not. And I'm not being rude, but we know what happened in the stadium, sort of thing. But she said Operation Resolve, which is looking at police misconduct aspect, the IPCC, the other operation is looking at what went wrong, physically what went wrong and how people died and the times and all that. This Resolve is looking at what the busies did wrong. And she said, I don't think there's anything, you told me that they would be interested in anyway. They just phoned last week, and I don't know whether it's at the timing's right or whatever, but they phoned and they come to take a statement. So like you just said there, I don't think you can take the opinion of, I wasn't in the crush in the Leppens lane, I've got nothing to say. You might have something that they need to hear, mate.
I remember seeing someone, it was a young lad, and he was just, there was like, remember the arches, the barrier before they opened the gates to let people walk on?
Yeah.
They were inverted towards the ground, and it was a young lad or a middle-aged lad, but must have been between 20 and 30. No, you know the crush barriers?
Oh yeah.
And he was arched the wrong way, and it always stuck in my mind. Do you know what I mean? Looks like someone's passed him up, and he was just fucking lifeless over the.
There's a lot of things that stuck in my mind that day, and it's like things that you never really talked about after it, and it was hard. But on the 12th again, it was like it was a weight off our shoulders, a big weight.
We moved,
and I mean, like where you say we were survivors, I think. At the time, I don't know, we could have ended up anywhere in that ground, you know.
No, but what I mean is, I understand what you're saying, but what I mean is, it doesn't feel like you're there. It was the most surreal day ever. We were all there, and it was utterly surreal what we went through. Do you know what I mean?
But I read a tweet of Peter Newton, who went and done a statement, and he done a statement. It was after the game, but he said when he went to and done a statement. It was like therapy.
Yeah, therapeutic.
It was therapeutic to get it off his chest and everything else. So
we were all kids then, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were all 18, 19.
Well, I was in school. I went back to school, and the teacher knew I used to go every game and all that. And there was the centre in Stanley Park, weren't they?
Yeah.
And he said, well, do you want to go down there and all that? And because I was only 15, 16 at the time, I was like, no, I'm alright. But it was only later on, as you get older, you think, fucking hell, what happened there?
I remember when they opened the grounds as well, and I walked down. I was working in the post office, and I walked down on my own after I'd done my rounds, and I couldn't go in. I was just stood there, didn't know what to do, and then I seen it about 5 hours I was there. And John Goodwin, a lad who I'd known for a few years, he was going in, and I went in with him. We just sat on the cop, and it was just the most surreal. There's only so many little things that you remember. That's all I remember anyway.
Yeah,
I mean, it was so. It's like as if it's black around it, apart from these few things that I remember. Do you know what I mean?
Doing all that yesterday is here, but we were on one of the first trains back, and we were sitting in the Crown and everything. I don't remember anything from about 9 o'clock onwards. Literally gone.
That's what I mean.
You know, and I might have got, I don't know whether I just got bladdered or whatever. I don't remember getting home. I don't remember anything at all. But just waking up on the Sunday and thinking, fucking hell, what's just happened there? So when you talk about being a survivor, Colin, it doesn't. I think we're all affected by it. We were all there. I was on the pitch later on, and sadly saw people dead and whatever. And everyone was all affected by it in that way. And I do think if you were there, you should really try and give a statement and see what they are definitely looking to nail someone. There's no doubt. I don't think there's any doubt about it. They're trying to reverse this IPCC thing. Hopefully, it's trying to reverse the whitewash that happened. So they're coming anyway. So maybe next week or whatever. If Jockey's not back, we'll let you know what it was all about. But these discussed the headlines anyway, and Duckenfield, and a few people went to Bournemouth. I don't know, he lives by Bournemouth, doesn't he? And people went there before the game on Sunday and were knocking on his door, and he wouldn't come out and what have you. And I think a few people were saying, "Oh, smash the windows!" No, and it didn't happen. But he wouldn't come out.
But it's best not to go down that door.
No, that's true. Don't do it. Maybe he probably wanted it to happen, didn't he? Anything else on that sorry subject?
No.
Move swiftly on then, if we can think. Let's bring the mood up a little bit. Mr. Cavani's been at work all day. He looks a bit tired. It's time for Wanker of the Week.
I think he's on his tablets again.
Who's doing the...
thinking about things.
Where's the music? This is disappointing.
Tony, over to Tony for the Wanker of the Week.
Wanker of the Week. Wanker of the Week. He's the Wanker of the Week. Who would you have fancy called?
There's mine, mate.
Can only be one name, can't it?
It's it.
Duckenfield.
He's not even a wanker though, he's fucking worse than a wanker.
Well, I think before all this come out, I was going to go for Tory.
I mean, the scales are outweighed there,
so no, I don't know, just for even putting that Colo's name with him anyway. It goes without saying if that fucking wronging's going on about. Yeah. What we just spoke about, just think that sums it up.
Yeah, match day officer Duckenfield, Wanker of the Week.
Absolute Wanker of the Week.
He doesn't deserve a title anyway. It feels weird giving him something like that.
Yeah. I know, but there we are. Well, alright, David Duckenfield, or whatever his name is or isn't, is the Wanker of the Week, and probably we could probably make him honorary Wanker of the fucking lifetime, to be fair. We've got transfer window in the list here, Colin. Strange thing.
Transfer window. Well, I mean, there's two ways to look at this really. We left last Friday, if we all remember, we all left last Friday on a semi-wave. We were riding that wave, that crest, Paul asked the question, good or bad, the Copley anchor deal, and we all come up with yes, whatever. I got home at 20 past 11, the Sky Plan pot said it's virtually done. Ian Ayres on his motorbike with this fucking mong he got from fucking Man City. What's did Mr. Fallows? So I went to bed quite happy, woke up Saturday morning, it all fell apart. I mean, there's a couple, as I've said, there's a couple of ways you can look at this. It was terrible dealing on behalf of Liverpool FC, or the Dnipro owner, from what I can gather, refused to sign the release side of the transfer fee. I mean, somewhere in between all them three, there's probably a dispute. which we'll never ever get to know about, because at the moment, Liverpool Football Club, it wouldn't look out of place on fucking The Sopranos at the moment. It's like a mafia. It's like a mafia run. It's a comedy of errors at the moment.
Haven't we got a transfer committee with this Dave Fellows?
Yes, there's 3 of them apparently, isn't there?
We've got the other fellow from Man City, didn't we? We've got Dave Fellows and his mate.
Yeah.
Who were like, they're supposed to be top of the range for Man City.
That's correct.
Bringing everyone in. So does Brendan go to this? How does it work? Is it put to? There was an open letter I seen sent the other day as well of John W. Henry explaining something that like it's, or was it? Yeah,
that's a lie.
Well,
my lies or John's lies. I've just seen the letter.
What you're saying there, Toe, is right, because it looks like that transfer committee at the moment, it's not holding the water that it was invented for, because there's 5 with inverted commas marquee signings. The fella who played for Chelsea against City the other night, William, we were riding for him, we had him on the phone, let's go and sign him. What a footballer he's fucking turns out to be. Then we've got, after William, it was Mkhitaryan, from Dortmund. That fell apart. After him, it was there was somebody else after him. But anyway, it all leads up to Mo Salah. All ends up at Mo Salah, and then Kaplachian, and we can't nail these people down. So there's something invariably wrong. There's something going on that's wrong with the way it's all set up at the moment. And what Tony's just saying is who's identifying the players, and whoever is identifying the players, does he then pass that on to this transfer committee? It's bizarre.
Did the transfer committee scout them? Or they Brendan's players, or did they go to Brendan and say, we've scouted?
I think it starts at the scouting level to the manager. Well,
is this like a Camoli thing?
We could chase our tail with this, or we could, because we don't know. We just don't know.
If it's like a Camoli thing again, where
this committee was put in place to replace Camoli.
Well, that didn't work.
Fucking hell, Camoli looks like fucking Stephen Hawkins compared to these.
Well, what's interesting is Kinnear at Newcastle resigned because he failed to sign.
We're not getting him.
But he failed to sign any players into transfer windows, and we're not far behind.
Did anyone read Brian Reed's column this morning? It was absolutely spot. It's the first thing I get on a Thursday morning. I read it and read it. The best column in papers at the moment. And he said Liverpool are in danger of ruining themselves by going down this committee stroke. Headhunter, Camoli style person. Go back to basics. Your manager manages the team 99 times out of 100. He'll also coach the team. So give him the money to spend to identify the players, to bring the players in. If the manager's not identifying the players, it's flawed. It's instantly flawed. You'll end up like a Newcastle then, or a Tottenham, where you're just getting players brought in for the sake of it, with no real. It's not on a proper mobile. It's not moving the right way.
Well, the last time, the manager had sort of control over it was Benitez, but he was banging his head against the wall. He was wanting to bring class players into the club, but they weren't getting the backing, and some of the players he missed out on was
David Silva for one.
There was
a
lot more. Not off the top of my head, I can't remember. But
the fullback for
Barcelona from Seville.
Montoya.
It's in as well.
The Brazilian.
What's his name? Takes the free kicks.
Danny Alves.
The fella from Benfica who was actually on the plane waiting to come.
That's the best part. I mean, it's all done. Sky loved this transfer window, just to go back a little bit there, don't they? I mean, they couldn't get it any better if they tried. Sky, people are in the air, people are in helicopters, our sources at such and such are telling me it was a load of dog shit. It's absolute utter. It's drama.
Apart from Natalie Sawyer and Kate Abdo.
Where did they get that Kate Abdo from? Jesus Christ. She does the Spanish gear now. Italian football.
You've never got that Jim White coming in.
He anchors it now.
He comes, and Jim's entered the building, and Jim's put his yellow tie on.
Kicked them all out.
But I thought I think it was Tony O'Connell said the week before, they haven't appealed yet, and it's like Sky saying, you've got to tell us, you tell us if they're appealing,
and then we tell everyone else.
We tell everyone, and like, no, we just put our appeal in whether you.
But they don't think Sky bring you don't bring us fuck all, you just put it on the telly.
I mean, they were struggling that much for any decent signings or a bit of meat on the bone. They ran a fucking Ross McCormack story that Brian McDermott had been sacked. Hang on a minute, no, he hasn't been sacked. Yeah, he's been sacked. Ross McCormack stayed. No, Ross, who give a shit? At the end of Sky, weren't bothered about Leeds one little bit, but it was the only thing they had to chew on.
For the armchairs, the armchairs love it, don't they?
And the social media went into meltdown.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Fuck off out of the club, you cunts, and all that. You're like, fuck, yeah, no.
I mean,
gotta be a sex tape out there with that Natalie Sawyer on us.
With Ian A.
That's still not one.
I actually think we dodged the bullet. I'd never heard of that fella, and it just smacked off. We're desperate to sign someone. It was horrible the way it happened, but I'm not that.
A couple of players come out and said he was a bag of shite.
Yeah, you see who's holding the main one. Well, here's one for you. I think that old leg Luzniski used to play for Arsenal, so that stinks. I think Arsenal could be in for him because this kid could. I think Russia made the World Cup under Gus Hiddink, didn't he? Under Capello, sorry. So I think he'll have a good World Cup. This kid's Arsenal going for him, and that old.
Isn't he from the Ukraine though?
No, I think he's Russian now, I think, I think he's a Russian. He scored for Russia, didn't he, against England in the qualifiers. I don't think.
How many Russians have come over? How many Russians?
Who didn't play Ukraine? All right, so I don't know what about England anyway.
But how many's come over to the Prem and done well? There's Shevchenko, billionaire for the one at Arsenal.
So we're putting a good spin on this now, aren't we? We're glad we dodged it.
How many is it's not a big country, Russia, so how many?
Hang on, I'm just saying, I'm not spinning this. I said last week when I asked you,
I wanted them to
good.
Yeah,
I said bad.
Any signing would have been
good. Bolster the squad, give the players a lift, the fans a lift, etc., and give Sky what they wanted.
Anyway,
I'm going through the change with Liverpool at the minute.
Bipolar FC?
Yeah, Billy Polar.
Menopause FC, I don't know.
Well, if we lose against Arsenal,
meltdown shit.
That is fucking.
But I don't think we will. I've got good confidence going into this game, confident against Arsenal. I think they're going to fall into our hands.
Hopefully.
Right, well, we're moving on to a new aspect of the show shortly, but just before we get to that, we'll go to Colin's Gamble and Betting Corner. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah, the Gamble and the Betting Corner was done alright, didn't they, during the week? Me and Mr. Caveney, I had a few quids on the Man City-Chelsea game. Once I've seen the team sheet, God knows why Pellegrini's done this. I mean, but managers wind you up sometimes. He's got perfectly good centre midfielders on the bench there, and he goes and puts the fucking centre-half yards on. So went straight on I bet, yellow card. That Dean Michaelis, and he obliged after about 15-20 minutes, went clattering into someone and back to the 2-1. But scope moving to Saturday's betting, I'm going to stick it. We like to leave it with Liverpool, don't we? And I am absolutely convinced about this bet. 100%. Liverpool will win, and I think you can get a decent price on Liverpool. I think they'll be about 2-1 for a home game, just based purely on Arsenal being top of the league. And it's wrong that they're basing that on league positions. They shouldn't do that. They should base it on what? Fortress, Anfield, Suarez and Sturridge. It's a false price as far as I'm concerned. Get your money on a Liverpool victory Saturday lunchtime. Get your holiday money out of it.
I can't bet on Liverpool really like that.
Well, I've got to mention my 8-timer. That's his 2 weeks on the run. Well, I hope so. That would help. In the 90th minute, in fairness, I needed 1 goal, and it was all in. I got that 1 goal, and in 2 other games there was 2 90-minute equalisers.
But when you do win them coupons, they scored in the last minute as well.
I know. It does happen in a positive way.
My favourite coupon at the moment is what I said it last week. Is the both teams to score and win coupon. It's absolutely brilliant. Even the singles, you're getting 3-1 on a single. So you've only got to get 2 up. The fucking coupons brilliant.
Well, I done Villa to beat Everton and both teams to score there, and that was 9-1.
Well, Villa was looking good for a minute there.
9-1. That's not a bad bet, that is.
Great, isn't it?
Alright, so the bet, Colin, then, just to finalise, is just a dead simple Liverpool to win.
Liverpool to win, Sorry, let me just correct that. It's about 11 to 10 Liverpool. Yeah, I've read it wrong, but it's 11 to 10. I'd even go as far as to say both teams to score and Liverpool to win. That's probably a better bet.
Yeah.
But
it's going to be difficult for us to stop these.
It is, yeah. But I did say it was 2 to 1. It's not. I was looking at it the wrong way down there. It's 11 to 10. 11 to 10 for the home win.
Yeah, 11 to 10. All right. Well, there's been some news coming out, mostly through social media. Dates not confirmed or whatever with Liverpool yet, and several other teams. But there's this big tournament in America again this season, and Tony's going to give us some. Put some flesh on those bones.
It starts on the 26th of July in Chicago. There's some big teams in it.
Chicago.
Man City, Man U, Olympiacos, Real Madrid, blah blah. So I think we're based in Boston again, Liverpool.
That's right.
And we play a game in Chicago, then we go to Philadelphia, North Carolina,
Charlotte,
North Carolina, and then the semis and the final, if you get there, are played at Miami. I think it finishes on like the 4th of August, is it? So we're looking to go. We've seen on the Tingo, someone put on there's a load of flights there for £1300. That's your full flights.
Go away.
Yeah, that's flights in and out and everything.
How much?
Your internals, £1,300. That's flights to Chicago, Philadelphia, blah blah blah.
Is it
I was speaking to Scott Fowler, Bobby's little brother who works in Liverpool. I was going, and he said, we've been told don't finalise. Liverpool haven't finalised it because they don't go through this Europa or Champions League qualifier where they're going to be. And the Manx are set to pull out, he said. Anyway, the Manx are...
Because they've got David Moyes managing them. He wants to take them up to Scotland.
The Manx are in that illustrious tournament in the pre-season with Preston, Burnley and Everton.
So if we do qualify for the Champions League, fingers crossed, does that mean we're going to come out of that tournament?
I think we
no, you go in it in the Champions League. If we end up in the Europa League, we'll have to pull out. Because the league starts in March.
We'll be there, won't we?
Well, actually, I was just going to say, Tony, last season.
Oh, we're doing a corporate one, are we?
Well, all expenses paid, taxi to Spreaker. And that's if you're the taxi driver. As Jockey said last year on his way to Bahrain or wherever he was going last year, his expense account was done in on the taxi. But we do tend to get media accreditation from Liverpool for those, and we had some Jockey and Bernie Allen was another one, Colin.
Bernie,
commentated on a game in Malaya, and then we were in the press box at Thailand and Oslo. Jockey and Jackie did a great commentary there. And then Dublin as well, Jockey commentated from Dublin. So if any of them, and if we do get the accreditation, if we are going to America, Anfield FM will be there with press conferences and commentaries from matches, and hopefully some of the lads who you're listening to tonight, Cameron, Tully, Lloydie, whoever's over there, we'll do some commentary, and we'll have some good times. Are you going, Chris, or not?
I was going, but
I couldn't afford it.
It fell in nice because
I'm trying to set up some diplomatic relations with my bears at the moment to try and smooth that over.
Well, the UN have come into our house at the minute because I'm getting married in August.
Wanky moon.
So the stag night was getting. I was working on the stag night, so I was getting a right little walk over with it, but she seems to think because it's 4 days before the wedding it'll be a bit out of order.
And that's the only reason
I don't know why.
That's the only reason I'm going because I'm single.
Tony's got none of these international relationships.
My parents been watching too many films like The Hangover, I think. So I think she's putting the boss on it, but I'm still in talks. I'm getting in air on it.
I mean, what a tour if we can pull it off. The cities that are getting mentioned. I mean, it's the tour to it.
Well, that's why you can't go.
The carry on last time in Boston and that Baltimore was amazing. It was amazing, like over there.
Well, hopefully that all comes off for Liverpool and for Anfield FM, and watch this space, listeners. It's all good stuff. Well, we've got a new segment now. Colin, can you give us like some music, a musical intro? And so he's going to sing.
Okay, these guys.
Okay, call your bluff.
Oh yeah,
call your bluff.
Call your bluff.
I think you should outline the way this is going to work, Paul.
Oh,
Just
you
But tell them why you've come to this arrangement, because I don't think I'm telling lies.
I haven't. So on our WhatsApp, it was put to put to the vote on the WhatsApp page we've set up. Should we run a new part of the show called Tony Caveney's Call My Bluff? It's fucking brilliant this, we should have thought of this weeks ago, where he says, when he comes out with a statement and you the listeners have to decide whether it's dog shit or it's genuine, so it's a Tony.
No, look, we started with the Chuckle Brothers.
Oh, the time the last one.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm not even budging on that one. No, there's another one now. This is like a little bit of like Liverpool folklore, like an urban myth.
Come on, this is serious now.
Right, this is legit. This now, the punters, if you're listening, will know this. Some of you will know this. We know about Hitler, who lives on Parley, Upper Starrow Street, right?
That's the first one.
Now, when I was a kid, outside Lewis's, just underneath Dickie Lewis, there was a black fella who sold the Echo called Black Hitler. Right. Now, I remember going to sit. Now we could do bird whistles, right? So you go. We'd sell the Echo, and he had a little muzzy. This fella, he was about 4 foot, and he had a little muzzy, a black little muzzy, like a little afro muzzy. And like you'd say, do a bluebird, go. But then you go like, do an owl, and you go. All his birds were the same. Every whistle was the same. Like, I remember my dad saying, "That's Hitler's lad." What it was when Hitler was like here in Liverpool and Granby, he went with a prostitute, and he was the sibling of it. And this is serious. And I said to my mum,
the offspring, not the sibling.
Yeah, he's the offspring of Hitler. Black.
You can tell by the reaction now.
We're going to get to that now.
Yeah, listen, there's people who will back this up. There's people who will back this. Now I said to my mum, do you remember Black Hitler who sold the Echo on the bird whistles underneath Dickie Lewis's? And my mum said to me, I was too busy looking up. Right, so if anyone can help us, man, I don't need help, these need help, these non-believers.
Alright, thank you for that, Tony. So, the question is, I don't even know what to say. Is Black Hitler real? Right? Did Hitler father a son on Granby Street who ended up selling the Echo and doing bird impressions? And doing bird impressions under the Lewis's statue. So first of all, Tony, is this true or bluff? Colin, sorry.
I'm gonna say this sounds so fucking stupid. I'm gonna say it's true.
True. It's gotta be true.
I'd love to think it was true, but and I'll have it. I believe anything sometimes.
Yeah. So well, there you go, listeners. Colin and Chris have both said true. So
this is when I was like, we're 44 now. This is when I was like 10 in town. Remember the Dole on Renshaw Street? Yeah. When I used to go to Dole with my dad. And you're talking 30 years ago, it was an old tabby. So like the time frame of when it was
how old was he 30 years ago?
He must have been 60, 70 then.
So
he'd be about 100 miles now.
No, so in the 70s, 30 years ago, he would have been 16, 70, which means he was born
in the 20s.
Which is possible.
Yeah, so I've married the time scale all fits in.
Yeah.
If he's still alive now, Black Hitler, he'd be 180.
I'm googling this now to see whether I can get any info on this.
But the point of this Cabinet Call My Bluff, listeners, is for you to come onto Twitter and Facebook when you're listening to the show tonight and basically tell us what you think. Is it true or is it a bluff? Is this a Tony little white lie or is it the truth?
A black lie.
Or is it a black lie, yeah? Little Hitler. So there's your question, listeners. Let us all know on the Anfield FM Facebook page or Twitter page, please, and then we'll decide whether Tony was telling the truth or telling a lie, and then we'll see if you like it and we'll do it again next week.
We're going to the vote on it.
We're going to the vote, okay, Tony. Your credibility is at stake here, mate. You know what I mean? Alright, so can we just have the theme tune to finish that off then?
Yeah, I like it. Caving his blood.
Alright then, and then the final thing on our schedule tonight on our agenda is Horlicks.
Horlicks, yeah. Well, we can't really say too much, can we? But it's the time of the night now where we should be really having Horlicks.
Right. Well, what are you talking about? You go to bed, you lads wear
I'll be up for 12 hours. It's only Friday night, 9 o'clock.
So he's just come in from a long day at we don't sponsor the station, so we won't mention I want
to give some say some hellos as well.
In fact, I might have a bevy tonight because I've been off the air for 5 weeks and I've done well.
Go on, lad. Did you
get any feedback off Andy Devon now?
Yeah, they were made up absolutely over the moon. So were the kids as well. Yeah, that was last week's show where Tony bumped into the lads with the kids at the Derby at half time.
Sing one to the week.
But some hellos here. Everyone who's following on Twitter, I'm going to try and mention as many as we can over the next couple of weeks because it's really important that we give you some claps as well. You know what I mean? So Gary Welch, Steve Mack, Ian Sutherland, Sudden, old Ed that we'd go back a long way with. Ched, upset a Ched banger, that's one of my favourites.
It's Dave Richards.
Yeah, it's your our mates and egg, but so yeah.
Single pictures he put on.
Stevie Martin, he organises the Ann Williams, helps to organise the Ann Williams Golf Day. Got Kirk Dale, I think one of Joffrey's our mates. We've got Mick from Atscar 4 Badge, who by the way the shop's open on Saturday, guys, get down and get all your stuff for all your badges and your t-shirts. Tizzer, Chris Tyrrell, seen Tizzer at Bournemouth, I think, I can't remember. It was smashed. I did see Tizzer at Bournemouth then.
Just about Arabians.
Graham Alroyd, we've got S-Bag, more Stella Tar. Some of these names are hilarious, and one of the community Terence. Quality accounts he's set up, well done community Terence, hilarious. Funny lads. Gary Holden, Gordon Swift, I think he's off the station, isn't he, Swifty? Yeah. Gary MacDonald, Gary Mac5 LFC.
It's like an Oscar speech.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, I love my Twitter. I think Twitter blows that Facebook out the water. I mean, some of the people who set these accounts up, they're fucking hilarious. Do you know what I mean?
Some funny shots.
You just sat in bed at the end of the night. It's fucking great just reading through what they say, and it's all shite like, but it's hilarious, mate. And a big shout out to Ricky Morton's Cafe Sports. I promise, Rick, I will try and get in and do this challenge you want me to do, but that will save that for another day. And Paul Aldridge as well, Aldro's lad Paul. So that's it for tonight. We'll do the rest next week.
Well, just following on from that, from Colin, and you probably appreciate this, Colin, but we had a message last week after the show, lads. He's listening.
Yeah.
And it's from a fella called Frank Hogan. And his email address is liverpoollegend@aol.com, and it said, I'm from Boston, land of the Boston Red Sox. I protected Anfield from the Germans and Evertonians in the 40s. I'm still protecting them. I'm supporting them at LFC Boston, telling people they should listen to your show, The Noise from the Boys, as you are real scouts and supporters. You make me proud of being a Liverpoolian, Frank.
Thanks very much, Frank. Absolutely amazed up with that.
He sounds like an interesting character as well. If that, I'm sure he's joking about the Evertonians, but defended Anfield from the Germans.
Yeah, can I imagine? Well, we were bombed. Yeah.
So, Frank, I've emailed Frank back and did say, well, listen in this week, Frank, on Friday UK time, because we'll give you a mention and a shout out. So thanks for listening in from Boston.
Thanks for spreading the word, Frank.
And I'm glad you enjoyed the show. That was great.
Well, we'll be over there, won't we, in the summer?
Yeah, come and see you, or whoever's over there representing Anfield FM, come and see you. But I think that's it now, gentlemen. It's been another great show.
Are we having a prediction for the score?
Oh, score prediction?
Yeah, we'll do a prediction for the score. You go first, Chris.
What was it last week where I said we were not going to concede goals, but it was going to be...
Oh, that was hilarious. I put that on Twitter as well. Tony Cakeries, he went, I think it'll be both teams to score and Liverpool to win 3-0.
I said, carrying on the good form of not conceding, I think it'll be 3-1. Yeah. But same again, sitting on the fence, 1-1.
Big calls going, both teams to score, Liverpool win 2-1.
2-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, get in there.
I'm not giving a prediction.
Sitting on the fence.
I'm sitting on the fence. So there you go, 2-1, 2-1, 1-1. But ultimately Liverpool need to win this in order to close the gap.
I At the
prefer
very
to
least,
go
not
for the
defeat.
title, not a defeat. But we don't really want to draw either. We want to go and tear these.
Well, would you settle for a draw and 3 at Fulham?
Same thing as Chris said, but
Would you settle for that?
Yeah.
if every 2 games you're getting 4 points, that's what Chris is saying, 2 points a game on average.
Is that
That'll
enough?
do.
That's-
But it's proven to be enough for 4th place.
I'll
Yeah,
settle for that.
last 5 seasons or whatever.
There was a thing I seen the other day, and it said we've got 14 games left. He said if we win 10 of them games, it'll
Yeah.
guarantee us. But you know, that's a
There's a lot of twists and turns
Yeah.
left in this league,
Well, yeah.
definitely.
You can't predict nothing.
No, I know,
At the end of the
but-
day. Well, look, we're on 59 minutes and 35 seconds, so just keep talking, might as well round it off.
Oh, right, yeah.
20 seconds.
I've got something I want to say. Jockey, I know you're listening, don't forget our fucking presents.
He pretends he doesn't.
Oh yeah,
Springsteen.
He's got everyone round. This is my show. Come and listen to my show. Paul's only filling in while I'm away.
I think he's emigrated.
That's some holiday. That always been on, and it's some being
Not
over.
happy about the team tune, is it? Not happy about it.
Right, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. And onwards and upwards for the Reds. Good night, Colin.
Good night up the Reds.
Good night, Christopher.
Good night.
And good night, Anthony.
Good night.